We are learning more about a 19-year-old who was shot and killed by a Pima County Sheriff's deputy last month. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm John Overall.
And I'm Amanda Gomez. Officials say there was a warrant out for the arrest of Bradley Alexander Lewis for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Lewis took off during a traffic stop and deputies say he then hit a patrol vehicle.
He was buried this past weekend, and tonight News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo spoke with a family member who says they want transparency.
Family called him Alex. That night back in January when he got out of the car, he had something dark in his hand. Turns out it was a key fob, not a weapon. However, detectives did find ammunition and drugs inside the car.
I don't know those details, and I'm curious about them. I don't know if they'll be relevant. I don't know that they would ever justify this outcome.
An outcome that has rocked Alex Lewis's family. Keith Lewis last spoke to his only nephew 2 weeks before his death.
We had a lovely conversation. He was having cake with his grandparents. It was his 19th birthday.
Keith says they were very close, and Alex was like a son to him. At 17, he joined the Army. He says Alex was proud to serve his country. He was stationed in Texas and said everything
going along quite well in medic training, and he injured his back.
Keith lives in upstate New York and spent time with his nephew this past summer. He never imagined that would be the last time he would see of Alex. Keith saw our story about a woman who says that she was a victim of a drive-by shooting. Alex was named as a suspect. Her vehicle still has the bullet holes. Keith says he sympathizes with her.
It's hard. It's hard to hear stories like that. But I'm glad we are hearing them.
He adds he doesn't know what the case has to do with what happened to his nephew when he was shot and killed. On Monday, Sheriff Nanos confirmed
he was wanted for an arrest for assault with a deadly weapon.
I think it's very irresponsible of the sheriff to be releasing partial details, not full details, because I, like you, hear those details and I go, well, you know, he had it coming.
He adds never knowing this was going to happen to them and not having all the details given to them. He's cautioning everyone not to rush to judgment. Also hurtful when Sheriff Nanos talked about the nephew dying in the deputy's arms.
And when that deputy left, I'm sure it was traumatic for him, but he went home and he washed off the blood of a stranger. And we washed off the blood of our family member.
In Monday's interview, Sheriff Nanos told us,
it's just tragic when anyone loses their life. At that young age, it's really tragic. But circumstances happen. Things occur that are beyond our ability to stop sometimes.
The sheriff also adds,
I can only pray for the family because they deal with it too. These are tragic events.
Keith Lewis tells us he knows this is difficult for the officers. He says he supports wholeheartedly law enforcement. However, all they want is a complete, thorough, and transparent investigation. Sheriff's officials tell me that's what they're going to get. We've got you covered. Lupita Murillo, News 4 Tucson.